Welcome. Please join us in singing I Am Home. Let's rain those voices into song, okay? I am home. I am home. I have traveled far along this road, and now I'm home. Shalom, shalom. In the love of God, I am home. I am home. I am home. I have traveled far along this road, and now I'm home. Shalom, shalom. In the love of God, I am home.
Good morning and welcome to Unity, spirituality with open hearts and open minds. And I know that our calling is to hold the light and to be the light, particularly in our ever-evolving world, with all of the ups and downs we've shared in the last week. So Kristen is here in David's place this morning, so we welcome her, and she will light the Christ candle, and you at home on Zoom can light your candles as well as we sing, Come Light, Light of God, and as we sing this, let the words really settle into the depth of your being. Come light, light of God, give light to creation, enlighten our hearts and remain with your world. Come light, light of God, give light to creation, enlighten our hearts and remain with your world. And this image is the altar in our Chapel of Light from our Unity World Day of Prayer last week on Thursday, September the 11th. So before we stand and sing, I wanted to gather our hearts together and to hold the light for the world. There have been some major challenges this last week, 3 in particular. But there have also been 3 blessed events to balance that if we're willing to see them. With Ukraine, drones were sent over Poland, escalating that. In the Middle East, bombs were sent into Doha, Qatar, which escalated that situation. And in our own nation, Charlie Kirk, a young man who was a major figure in the conservative movement, was shot, as we all know. All 3 of those I hold in prayer and invite you to join me in de-escalating the negativity, the anger. Spencer Cox, the governor of Utah, took a beautiful stand where he said, this is not a time for escalation and retaliation. It is an opportunity to be a turning point where we realize things have gone too far and we must find a way to speak to one another, finding the grace of God to unite us in the midst of our disharmony, to harmonize us at a level of spirit and humanity. We had our Unity World Day of Prayer where we did a peace novena for 9 hours during the day. And then Unity Central at 5 o'clock had a worldwide prayer service for peace. So Spencer Cox, Unity World Day of Prayer. And then yesterday at noon, Lane and I were blessed to watch the Grace for the World concert on Disney Hulu. And it took place at the Vatican. It was a 2-hour concert for Grace for the World. And not only did they have music, they had speakers who spoke on behalf of peace and grace and the commonality of our humanity, and inviting us all to remember that. The music varied from Andrea Bocelli to Jelly Roll, with all of his tattoos on his face and all kinds of people in between. There were literally people from all over the world that were invited to sing. And so we have our challenges, but we also have hope. So I invite you to settle in for a moment of silence, and then I will read our interfaith prayer for peace. And I invite you to allow each of these lines to settle into you and have one become your mantra for the week. Let us settle into affirming peace in our own hearts, for that is where it begins. Radiating out to friends and family, radiating out to the spiritual community and our greater Port Townsend community, radiating out to our nation, which so needs pilgrims of peace. And then radiating out even further to the world, where pilgrims of peace exist in every culture, every nation, and every spiritual tradition. We connect with them as a great circle of light and hope and grace. And we radiate it out into the realms beyond, the realms of the masters and the angels and the unseen ones. And we ask for their loving support as we journey through this world. Comfort us and inspire us, that we may be the presence of the divine, ourselves and for one another in new and powerful ways. Great Spirit, Father, Mother God, Hagia Sophia, Allah, Lord Krishna, Buddha, Jehovah, Jesus, Magdalene, and all other enlightened ones. Be with us and remind us that, since a part of your divinity is planted in each of us, may we hear all others as you hear them. May we see all others as you see them. May we feel for all others with your compassion. May we think of all others with your wisdom. May we speak of all others with your voice. And may we act toward all others with your intention and with your love. And so it is. Om, amen, and blessed be. I invite you now to stand and let us sing Let Go of the Shore. Let go of outer appearances and float into the mystery of spirit and the loving presence of the divine and grace. Let go of the shore.
mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. You have all you need, it's all inside of you. Just close your eyes and breathe and know that you are safe. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. No need to make a plan, your heart will be your compass. Just lift your sails in faith and trust that you'll arrive. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery.
And we don't have to do that by ourselves, because the presence of God with us in so many forms, including look around you and do a silent blessing, recognizing the amazing souls that we are blessed to hold the light with. There is hope, there is grace shining forth from every face in this sanctuary. You may be seated. And now I'm so thrilled to give the platform to Kristen as she fills in David's shoes beautifully and gracefully.
Thank you, Pam. I feel honored this morning. I'm Kristen, and Kristen H. Harlan, to be exact. I know there's a few Kristens here now, and I'm not always good with names. But I've been coming since Simon did the winter solstice down at North Beach, and I found this community to be exactly what I needed here, and I've been coming ever since. I got through COVID pretty well because I learned how to do Zoom, and I was on Zoom almost every week. And I was so grateful when we got to come back in person. And if I miss a Sunday, I usually tell somebody so that they know not to worry about me. It's like, where's Kristen? But this morning, I'm going to read the Science of Mind first before the daily word, because I thought this would be a good introduction. Accept the privilege of being yourself. Your purpose is to discover and nurture who you really are, to know and love yourself at the deepest level, and to guide yourself back home when you lose your way. Since no two persons are alike, there must be a unique place for you in the scheme of things. The divine pattern would be imperfect without you. Dare to be yourself. Ernest Holmes. To believe that you are a beautiful reflection of divine love is not an easy practice. So often we find ourselves being self-critical, seeking validation in external ways. Meditation teacher Tara Brach calls this the trance of unworthiness, the belief that we are somehow deficient. This can happen when you lose touch with the truth of who you actually are. The essence of your soul is the most brilliant love imaginable. You are here to shine your light and share your unique gifts. No one can replace you. No one has your fingerprints, and no one expresses love or creativity the way you do. When you accept the privilege of a lifetime being yourself, you attract the opportunities meant for you. When you accept the beauty of your love, you can love others without holding back. When you accept the birthright of your own worth, you can reach out to those who are hurting. When you accept the truth of who you are, a force greater than your own hears the call, resonates with your alignment, and answers with the flow of support and guidance. Eckhart Tolle affirms, you are here to enable the divine purpose of the universe to unfold. That is how important you are. You are spirit in human form, filling a sacred role only you can fill. You are an irreplaceable part of the whole. Your heart is the only offering you ever need to make. Just bring your authentic gifts to the table. Be yourself with all your heart. That's all that's required. I relax into the knowing that I am a unique and beautiful reflection of the divine love. Now, the Daily Word was the one that gave me the strength to come up here, but when David asked me to come up here, I said yes immediately, and then a little bit of fear came in, but it was such an honor, and I feel so much a part of the community here. I feel like we're in a community of a community of a community, and I found a place where I belong, and I love each and every one of you, even the people I haven't even gotten a chance to talk to that much because we're all like spirits, and it's just exciting that I may get to know you more in the future. So with that, I'd like to thank David, and I'm grateful to be here today with all of you. Brave. So please take this as your own as I read it in the first person for Sunday, September 14th. Brave. Through the power of God within me, I am brave. If I want to have a greater, more expansive experience of life, I must be brave and move beyond the trepidation that holds me back. I do not judge myself for hesitating, but I don't let it stop me. Instead, I take my reluctance as a cue to call upon the strength of God within me to push past my fear and move forward. So much life lies on the other side of my fear. I believe I am meant to live a fulfilling, satisfying life. Whether I'm interested in having grand adventures or simply stepping out of my comfort zone and trying new things, I can rely on the divine within as I summon the courage to do new things. I affirm I am brave. As this becomes the truth of my heart, my experience of life expands. For God did not give us a spirit of cowardice, but rather a spirit of power and of love and of self-discipline. 2 Timothy 1, verse 7.
Thank you.
Oh, and I do have something wonderful to announce. You mentioned Simon, and the winter solstice was the first time you came to Unity. Yesterday, I confirmed with Simon he's coming the end of October. He's going to do a Sunday service for us, and then he and Alexa and Amy Ringel are going to do a concert together that evening here at Unity. So Simon's coming back, and we were top on his dance card. And so we are on the schedule for him, and I knew you all would be thrilled to hear that. So Simon is always with us, but he's going to get to be here in body as well. He hasn't been for a while, so we're thrilled to welcome him home. And he was so glad. I said, "Of course you're welcome." I said, "You will always and forever be family for us." And he said that touched him so deeply that after all these years in the distance, nothing has ever separated us in heart. So, Simon, we love you. We can't wait to see you. And with that joy and with the bravery of spirit that lets us each be who we are sent to be, let us unite in singing Sanctuary and moving into that inner place of peace and connection with our higher self and with the divine. We are each a sanctuary for ourselves and the world.
Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, open-hearted, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I am a living sanctuary for you. Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, open-hearted, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I am a living sanctuary for you.
And so settle in at depth in this holy moment, in the midst of this circle of kindred souls, into the presence of embodied grace and love. Feel yourself loved and supported. Feel yourself encircled, embraced by the very presence of the divine, exactly as you are right now. And feel hope and new possibilities that come with each breath, each new dawning, each unfolding. Take a moment and bless this physical form that is the temple for your soul. It's the vehicle through which you uniquely express your own soul into the world. Bless it for its service for you as your home, as your tender place to fall. Bless your mind and allow inflowing streams of light to bring hope and grace to even the most dark and deep waters, bringing that light right to where you are. Feel your heart as it opens and welcomes in the presence of love, compassion, and light. Like a candle brought into a darkened room, this light gently and lovingly finds its way to even the most shadowed corners, bringing tender, loving care. Allow this light to come to you at a level of soul, that part of you that existed before your first breath, that journeys in this body through this world, and with your last breath will return to spirit, whole, intact, and carrying all of the lessons and the blessings it received in this lifetime. And now open to be brave enough to be this presence in the world for yourself and for others. An embodied presence of divine possibilities and inspirations, of divine compassion and unconditional love, and the blessings of the high vision of soul. You are a channel of the divine. And in this moment, I invite you to be a channel of prayer this day, in this moment. Prayers for yourself, this congregation, for others, for the world. Open now and simply allow the prayers arise from your heart. Be filled with possibilities through your thoughts, and then uplifted in your hands and offered back to the divine, with palms still open as they release, that you might receive the answered prayers as they immediately become present, moving towards you and all for whom you have prayed. Let us pray now, silently, each in their own sanctuary, but knowing that we are uplifting one another and our prayers together as one in grace and hope. We pray. We unite these prayers with those entrusted to our High Watch prayer chaplains. And we unite these prayers with all who pray for peace and grace for all. We send forth a great wave of peace and love and hope and grace from our hearts to the hearts of all whom we touch, near and far. So now gather yourself up exactly as you are and your life exactly as it is. and receive the inspiration and comfort of Psalm 91, that you might be brave. Those who dwell in the shelter of infinite light, who abide in the wings of infinite love, will raise their voices in praise. My refuge and my strength, in you alone will I trust. For you deliver me from the webs of fear and illusion, from all that separates and divides. You protect me as an eagle shields its young. Your faithfulness is sure like an arrow set upon the mark. I will not fear the shadows of the night, nor the confusion that comes by day, nor the dreams that awaken me from sleep, nor the daily changes that life brings. I will not fear. Though 1,000 may deride this radical trust, 10,000 laugh as I seek to do your will, yet will I surrender to you, abandoning myself into your hands without reserve. For you have sent your angels to watch over me, to guide me in all my ways. On their hands they will bear me up, lest I dash my foot against a stone. Though I walk among those who roar like a lion, or are as stealthy as the adder, in your strength will I endure. And now the words of presence to you. Because you cleave to me in love, I will deliver you. I will protect you who call upon my name. When you call to me, I will answer you. I will be with you in times of trouble. I will rescue you so that you will know my peace. All through the years will I dwell in your heart as loving companion presence forever. Hear that last line once again. All through the years I will dwell in your heart as loving companion presence forever. And knowing this, we allow ourselves to be infilled with gratitude and grace, flowing through every level of our being. The joy that is the clearest sign of the presence of God, as Teilhard de Chardin promised. Allow joy and peace to move through you and to light the way ahead, one step at a time, for each of us and for us together collectively. We open in willingness to behold sanctuaries all around us and to be sanctuaries as well. May we be pilgrims of peace this day and always. Let us link inner and outer realms as we unite our voices in singing Sanctuary.
Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, open-hearted, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I am a living sanctuary.
it is. Om, amen, and blessed be. I behold the divine in each of you. Go forth blessed and blessing. And now a gift of special music. Clara is going to do Oceans.
You call me out upon the waters, the great unknown, where feet may fail. And there I find you in the mystery, in oceans deep. My faith will stand, and I will call upon your name, and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace, for I am yours. You are mine. And grace abounds in deepest waters. Your sovereign hand will be my guide. Where feet may fail and fear surrounds me, you've never failed, and you won't start now. So I will call upon your name, and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace, for I am yours. You are mine. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the water, wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in your presence, oh sweet Spirit. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters, wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in your presence, oh sweet Spirit. I will call upon your name. Keep my eyes above the waves. My soul will rest in your embrace. I am yours, and you are mine.
Beautiful. The message in song. Last week, we did the first part of this miracle, which is the calming of the seas. And today, we're going to do walking on water. Calming of the seas was what we talked about last week, where Jesus is on the boat with the disciples, and there's a huge storm, and he's just sleeping gently in the back of the boat. And the disciples are terrified, thinking the boat's going to be completely washed over and they're all going to drown. So they wake him up in absolute terror, and he just goes, basically, peace be still, and the elements calm down. And we talked about how that is the divine Christ light that's within each of us, that's always there, waiting for us to look and wake it up and say, please come be with me. And so often we don't do it until we're in the middle of a storm and we're afraid our lives are going to dump us over into an ocean. But we can waken up that Christ essence, that divine light, anytime. It's always there for us to walk with and to awaken whenever we seek it. And today I'm going to be talking a little later about centering prayer, which is a wonderful, simple prayer process of allowing you to have the storm quiet so that you can come into more deep communion with that divine light at the core of your being. Today, it's going to be about walking on water, which was one of Jesus's great miracles. And I've always loved this because it starts out with the waters all stormy again. There are two versions of it that I'm going to use today. One is John and the other is Matthew. And Jesus isn't in the boat this time. They're out in the water all by themselves in their boat. And the stormy seas, and then with the morning light, Jesus walks across the water to meet them. And their initial response is terrified. In Matthew, they say, "Are you a ghost?" They're scared. But that Christ Spirit let them journey, didn't abandon them, came and met them. As soon as they started to be aware of the light, his presence was there. And I love the fact that it starts with stormy waters and then calms down. Because there are times in our lives that we are in stormy waters and the path is rough. But the divine presence is there in the midst of that. There are times when the water is smooth. And if you're going to ask me to walk on water, I would rather walk on a nice smooth surface of water than a wild and stormy sea, wouldn't you? Which is why it helps if you start out calming the storm and finding the smoother path. Some of you know back, what was it, I guess 8 years ago now, I went to the Cave of the Magdalene in St. Balm, and I went up through the path that was the main one that was marked where I entered. And it went up through the woods, and it got rockier and rockier and gnarlier and darker under the trees. And I made it to the top. And then as I was coming back down, I fell and broke my leg. I said prayers, and it was divinely sent. My first thought, classic guilt. What did I do wrong? Did I not pray good enough, Magdalene? You knocked me off my feet coming down. Zilpha's mother said in the Buddhist tradition, if you break a limb when you are doing a pilgrimage, you are breaking old karma, releasing old paths so you can start anew on a new path. And that's what it was, because in my recovery, Mary Magdalene came to me in a way that she has never left my heart, and I've dedicated my life to her service as well as to the service of the divine. What I found out afterwards was, besides that gnarly path up through the forest, there was what was called the royal path. Do you think the king's going to go up that way? It was actually a smooth path that gently wove back and forth up the mountain, so you could even go up in a carriage if you wanted. I thought that is so like me to choose the interesting, challenging path. But I've learned so much that way. The stormy, rocky path has blessings just like the smooth path does. When I took pilgrims up, I told them about both of them, but we together went up the smooth path so everyone could go, whereas some would not have been able to go up the other way. The next time I went back to St. Balm by myself, after I'd broken my leg, I went, I'm going to do the smooth path. And I started that way, and Spirit said, be not afraid. I was scared. I didn't want to break my leg again. Be not afraid. I'm with you. So I went up through the woods, got to the top. Fear just went away. And coming down, have the grace of the smooth path, I was told. And so I came down the easy way, which people who hike tell me is actually when most people fall, is coming down, not going up. So I realized both of those paths, each one had their blessings. The smooth path, I could stop. They had benches where you could stop and rest and pray instead of holding on to trees trying to get up the next big step. But they're all blessed, and the presence of God is in all of them. We all have times where we're going up through the gnarly woods, or we're in a sea where everything is tossing us everywhere. The divine presence is there waiting for you to just awaken to it. When you're going through periods that are smooth, you can enjoy and notice the blessings and share them with others. And you can center in. And so Jesus walks on water. And I remember when I first heard this, I thought, oh, wow, that's an amazing miracle that he could walk on water. And what came to me as I've studied the miracles, the mystical traditions of the world, is that I believe with all of my heart that Jesus was so present in the physical world that he could meet us right where we are. But he was equally fully present in the realm of spirit, of possibilities. And that where he did his miracles was where he brought the two together as one. In the Kabbalah, there is a place where you have the three unseen Sephiroth up at the top of the tree, the three gates that are invisible. And then it comes down, and there is a realm called Hath HaKadosh, where things take the form of the elements, earth, air, water, fire, and it's all ethos, it's all spirit. And then as it takes denser and denser form, it becomes all of the other gates of the Kabbalah that grounds as the kingdom of heaven right here where we are, as Malkuth, as earth. And I believe he was able to get into that realm where things are somewhat fluid, and he could create. I've told you before, St. Columba said Jesus was the greatest druid because he could control and commune with all of the elements. And I like the word commune rather than control. That was the sense when I picture him doing this. It's not, okay, water, you're going to do this. It's water, you and I are one. Let me walk across your surface that I might serve and be present. I remember at one point when I was in ministerial school, we were talking about this, and I was like, okay, well, all of us walk on water. If you've ever ice skated, When water turns to ice, you can walk on it. And I thought maybe he just kind of froze each step as he went across. That would work. If that's how he did it, fine. The Great Salt Lake, you can't sink in because there's so much salt that you float. There was lots of salt in that water. I'm going to float. I'm going to call the salt elements up from the water. He could have done it that way. Maybe he intuited like sailors have to do up in this part of the world, where the shallows are versus where the deep water is. I know here at Wooden Boat, they have whole classes on be careful with the shallows in this area in unexpected places. Maybe there was a shallow there that he was walking in. And I thought, oh, that's really fun to think about all the possibilities. And then what came is, that's fun, but that's not the message. The message is meant for us, not just physically, but to spiritually get that when we have faith, we can do the impossible. Because it's been possible all the way along in the right conditions. And for this story, it comes with the coming of dawn, with the coming of light. He comes across the water to them. Here's the Gospel of John. When evening came, his disciples went down to the sea, got into a boat, and started across the sea to Capernaum. But now it was dark, and Jesus had not yet come to them. The sea became rough because the wind was blowing strong. When they had rowed 3 or 4 miles, they saw Jesus walking on the sea and coming near the boat, and they were terrified. But he said to them, "It is I, do not be afraid." Then they wanted to take him into the boat, and immediately the boat reached the land to which they were going. I love that last part. They said, "Hey, come get in the boat." And he said, "Look, you're already where you were going. You're at the shore already." When we become aware of that presence, let the light in and have the eyes to see, we are met in that moment, and instantly we are safe on the next shore of where we're journeying to. In Matthew, it's very similar, but it has a couple of differences. At the beginning, Jesus sends them off in the boat, and then he dismisses the crowds, and he goes up the mountain by himself to pray. This is in Matthew. This is very significant because before every major miracle or teaching, Jesus went off by himself to pray. He stepped away from the outer appearance and got so centered that he could step back into life and hold the manifest world and the spiritual world as one. So he comes, and again, they're out on the sea, and in the morning, they see him walking across the sea to them, and they're terrified, and they say, "It's a ghost!" And they screamed out in fear. And he says, "Take heart, it is I, do not be afraid." I love that, take heart. Love is what kept them connected and keeps us connected. Take heart. We all need to take heart this week. Take heart and do not be afraid. Now, the thing that gets added into the Gospel of Matthew that's not present in the Gospel of John is a story involving Peter. And the Gospel of Matthew was more focused on more the traditional church, what becomes church theology. Peter is extremely important. He's the rock upon which the church is built. At the Vatican, Peter is buried underneath the main altar, according to legend. But the Gospel of John is the more mystical gospel, and it focused on Magdalene and Jesus their connection and that she was the apostle of the apostles. And so they didn't include something that helps Peter be the rock of the church. I think that's why it's in one and not the other. That's my personal semi-scholarly opinion, having studied this for years. But here is the story that I love about Peter. I'm a Magdalene gal, but I also have come to love all of the characters in this story, all of them. They're all parts of us. Peter answered him, "Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you across the water." Interesting. If it really, you said it's you, but I've got my doubts. Peter is one of the one that doubts and denies Jesus during the Easter story. He says, okay, if it's you. We always talk about doubting Thomas, but don't we all have our doubts? Even Peter, the rock of the church, which for me, instead of throwing away my faith, deepens it, because I thought they struggle with the same things I do, but they held on. So Jesus said, come. You want to prove this? Come. So Peter got out of the boat and started walking across the water and came to Jesus. But then he noticed the strong wind, and he became frightened, and he began to sink, and he cried out, "Lord, save me!" And Jesus immediately reached out his hand and caught him, saying, "Oh, you of little faith, why did you doubt?" And then they both got into the boat, and the wind ceased, and those in the boat worshiped him, saying, "Truly you are the Son of God." I love that image of Peter. He said, "It is I, be not afraid, take heart." Okay, well, if it's really you, how many times have we done that? If it's really you, I need a sign. Show me. I know what, tell me to come and I'll walk on the water too, because I know in my brain I can't do that. But his focus was on Jesus, on the Christ light. And so when Jesus said, "Okay, come," he found himself stepping out of the boat and walking on the water across to where Jesus was. And then the reality of what he had just done hit him. Help! And he started to sink. What's interesting is if you notice in the story, he starts to sink. He didn't immediately drop to the bottom of the ocean because of his lack of faith. He started to sink. And that's when Jesus said, "Hey, oh, you have little faith, haven't you gotten it?" If you hold on to that faith, when you start to sink, you can come up again. And so Jesus realized he couldn't do that by himself, so he reached out and he took his hand. He didn't say, "Oh, you of little faith, you need to be guilty because you didn't trust me and now you don't trust this, so I'm going to let you sink to the bottom of the ocean." He didn't say that. He immediately reached out and met him where he was on his walk of faith and helped him get back into the boat, got back into the boat with him, and together they journeyed on. That's what the Christ light does for us as well. There are times where that is in the boat with us, and there are times we're doing our little life journey, and that presence is ever there. And we may question it and we may doubt. We all do that. But are we abandoned there? No. He meets us right where we are with unconditional love. The centering prayer, and I made copies. They're all around so you can take this home. For me, is one of the ways that I can most regularly get to the place where I, in the midst of the storms of my life, am in a place where that Christ Spirit is not sleeping, but it's not necessarily right next to me. This is a space in which I can say, come across the water. The dawn is here. The light is here. Come join me right where I am and as I am. This process centers you within, at the same time acknowledging the greater circumference that is your whole life, but centering in a place of balance. Boy, we have seen lack of balance. Our world's been like a teeter-totter this week. So if we can find a place of balance, then we can navigate through the world and all that it brings. That circle image comes with the circle of life, with the 4 directions, above, below, and within, 7 altogether. The astrological chart is a circle with each of the different signs held within it. The medicine wheel, the magic of Creator, is at the center and expresses out in all the directions. When you pray a rosary, you are holding a circle and focusing on the blessings that abide in the center. When you walk the labyrinth, you walk through a circuitous path in and back out, moving to the place of center, and then back out once again, but never in a straight line. In fact, all spiritual traditions hold circles and spirals. And so this centering prayer is about going from the circumference, the outerness of your life, into your inner core. What we recommend, as you can see on here, is start in a quiet place where you're unlikely to be disturbed. Turn off your cell phone. And then just allow yourself to relax. Allow yourself to open inward. And then, as thoughts and all come, which they will, you just allow them to gently go. When I was first learning how to do sitting in the silence, which is part of this, I remember I was just amazed at how many thoughts would come up. I am in the silence. I'm communing with the presence of the divine. I need to go vacuum the living room. Okay, peace, be still. Oh, I've got to make 3 more calls today before I go home. As those come, I had a wonderful meditation teacher at Unity Dallas, and she said, let them just float away like clouds in the sky. H. Emily Cady says, gently brush them away like cobwebs. Moving up here, I learned when you beat a cobweb with a broom to try and get it down, it just attaches more. So it's gently just acknowledge, okay, I'll worry about the vacuum later. And it recommends you have a simple word or a couple of words that help you come back to center, because we all need that. Gandhi says you need a mantra. It's like the elephant going through the village, and if it doesn't hold a stick, its trunk is going into everything, knocking over booths, causing total chaos. But if you give the elephant a stick to carry, it walks peacefully through the center of the village. This is your elephant stick. Your sacred word or words. You choose them yourself. They can change over time. Peace be still is one that I shared last week that I frequently use. I know it, it's simple. Don't have it be a long dissertation, a 5-line poem that you're going to try and remember how to say, because the point is not what you're saying. The point is to settle back in. So allow your mind to go. Start 5-10 minutes and then build up. because you'll get to where you can spend more and more time. And if you can begin and end your day with that, it helps you that no matter where your boat goes or what conditions it's in, you'll have a connection to that divine spark at the very core of your being. Don Curtis, who was my first unity minister in the Way of the Christ, says this: "We are all disciples whether we know it or not. The spiritual path eternally beckons to us, those who follow this upward path, to make a conscious decision to follow the Christ light, to embody the good, aspire to the truth, and to express divine ideas, what the Master called the way, the truth, and the light. These are the ones that will be able to walk through the world, learning like Jesus was such a master at how to be present in our world, how to see the higher possibilities in truth, but to bring them together in, through, and as us. We have been sent to be the light of the world, and we do that never alone. Let us pray. Oh, sweet, sweet Spirit, abiding presence of the divine. Oh, we move through a world of ups and downs and ins and outs, of shifting energy, of challengings and of blessings. All of those are part of the rich experience that humanity has come to experience and learn from. But too often we focus on this outer circumference. Help us to remember this week to always come back to center, where we are never alone, where the presence of the divine is there, sleeping. All we need do is tap it on the shoulder, and it awakens and is with us. It never left. We called it forth. And as we journey through life's experiences, may we remember that it also comes to us with the dawn, with new light, whether it's a physical dawn or a spiritual dawn. We open in willingness to realize that right in the middle of our manifest day, the presence is truly with us. We are disciples to whom the spiritual path is eternally beckoning. Let us follow, beginning within, with our soul GPS that never will guide us wrong, for it is writ upon our hearts and comes as inspiration through our thoughts, and then we are called to embody it. Let us do this in prayer as we center in and allow our chalices to be filled each day. May we go forth centered, full of blessings, to emerge back into life from this inner place of the Most High, that we may then encounter, experience, and embrace all of our paths of light, always remembering to return to center anew each day and each night. And so it is. Om, amen, and blessed be. And so now you get to join in the singing of the song, Only Believe, for that is what lies at the core of all of it. Only believe, and it is so. Please stand.
Only believe, only believe, believe all things are possible. Only believe.
Oh, it is. Please be seated.
And now the offering. Do we have, the baskets for the offering? Okay. Okay. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful.
All that I am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all. All that I am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all. Na 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 na. Grateful for it all. Na 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 na. Grateful for it all. All that I am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all. All that I am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all, for it all.
Me too? Yes. Oh, sweet, sweet Spirit. It is with open heart and open arms that we receive these gifts so lovingly offered to the greater good and to the path that is unity in our community and in our world. Each gift blesses. May we be the hands through which prosperity flows, that we might be of deeper and greater service day by day by day in this world we are so blessed to share. We bless the giver, we bless those who will receive, and we give thanks that the presence of the divine supports this ministry and the way in which we hold the light universally in love and grace. And so it is. Om, amen, and blessed be. There we go. Thank you.
Okay, and with the announcements is our weekly crafting guild meets every Thursday from 11 to 2. All are welcome. We really have a lot of fun with that, especially last week we started doing the painting for the new room. And then on the second Mondays, from 5:15 to 6:15, Suzanne Damasio has Tap Into Wellness that will start in October. Then we have the first Saturday, men's group meets at 9 at the Cup. That'll be the first Saturday in October. But during September, we have a lot of things going on. Starting this week on Tuesday at 5:30 and Thursday at 10:30 in the morning, we're having the book study with the Science of Mind group. And then on September 22nd at 4, there's going to be a piano soiree with Lisa Lanza. And we'll have tea and cookies. Donations are accepted then for the piano fund or any time, of course. And then on the starting September 24th, every second and fourth Wednesday at 4, we'll have the sound and vocal prayer circle. So that'll be exciting, and you can see in our unitypt.org on our website more information about that, but I recommend you try it. It's very relaxing. And on the 24th at 7 o'clock, we have Jordan Loader with the kirtan and mantra on Wednesday evening. And then the 27th at 2 will be the celebration of life for Martha Sky Dempster, and all will be welcome for that, and that will be a very beautiful gathering. Thank you.
More announcement. This comes from the Ministerial Action Coalition, of which we are a part. And today at 6:30 at the Quimper Unitarian Universalist Fellowship, just our neighbors right down the street, they're going to be showing We the People Ride. It's sponsored by We the People, the Common Good Immigration and Border Practices group, as well as Indivisible and JASIRA, our local immigrants' rights. And it's about a 3,200 bicycling saga that Pastor Doug Paget did. And they filmed all kinds of incredible moments of the people he met and what transpired on this amazing bicycle journey. And so they're going to be showing the film tonight, 6:30 at Quimper Unitarian, and all are wonderful. And Doug Paget is actually going to be there. So you get to meet the guy that the film is about and ask questions and just hear what he has to share about his amazing bicycle journey. So 6:30 down the street at our brother and sister's house. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to put in a little plug for the piano soiree. Lisa Lansing is going to play, and she is amazing. She has played all over and in competitions and is wonderful, and you'll want to come hear her show you what this piano can do and enjoy a wonderful afternoon of piano music. That's the 22nd, Monday at 4. Thank you.
I love it.
All right, we'll sing the peace song now and our prayer protection in our circle.
Yes, there is peace on
earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, united all are we. Yes, we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is our moment now. With every every breath I take. Yes, this is my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. And we know the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
And this day, Diane has been holding the high watch on behalf of our prayer chaplains and will be available at the back should you like personal prayer. So we go forth blessed in blessing, and so it is. Woo!
Wow. Beautiful.
Listen to that. Woo. This vibration now moves into your heart to activate your heart center. Hear it all around the room? Blessings.